Alvin wants to know what his average paddling rate was for a canoe trip to a campsite. On the way there, it took him 4 hours against the river current of 3 kilometers per hour, and on the way back, the same distance took him 2 hours with the same 3 kilometer per hour current. So we want to kind of gather all the information from this story here. First of all, let's see. He wants to find out the average paddling rate. So we want to know R. Now, what else do we know? We have kind of two trips really here in this story. We have the trip on the way there, and then we also have a trip that is on the way back. Well, let's see. On the way there, the time was 4 hours. And why was it 4 hours? So time is 4 hours. Well, because the river current was not helping him. And in fact, it was working against him because he was going against the river current. So while we don't have the actual rate that Alvin was canoeing at, what we do have is that his rate R on the way there was impacted by the river current that was slowing him down. So the rate was slower. It was 3 kilometers per hour slower. And very similarly, on the way back, your time was faster. It was 2 hours. And the rate was faster, and that's why the time was faster, because the current was helping him. So you take his rate and add the rate of the current to his rate to get the rate on the way back. And now I'm going to write the distance, rate, and time formula for each part, for the way there and for the way back. So for the way there, the distance was rate times time. So we're going to take the time, the 4 hours, and multiply by the rate, which was r minus 3. And then for the way back, the distance was rate times time again. So 2 is the hours, and then the rate was r plus 3. Now, there is another thing that we do know. A lot of people get confused because there is no distance given. So you're kind of left with two unknowns, the distance and the rate, and then the distance and the rate. But what we do know is that he was just going between wherever he was on the campsite and then back. So the distance he traveled was actually the exact same. So these two distances, D and D, were the same, which means whatever the distance was on the way there is exactly the same as the distance on the way back. So I'm going to take the distance on the way there, which was 4 times r minus 3, and make it equal to the distance on the way back, 2 times r plus 3. And then this is a simple linear equation. I just distribute my 4 for r minus 12, and I distribute my 2r plus 6. Then I'm going to take this 2r and subtract it from the 4r, which leaves me with 2r minus 12 equals 6. And then I'm going to take my negative 12 and add it to the 6. So now I have 2r equals 18. And then finally I will divide both sides by 2 to get r equals 9. And that's it, we're done.